Fnaf Real? So I went to Halloween Horror Nights finally, and I finally got to see the FNAF haunted house, and I gotta say, I really liked the whole thing. But it was definitely not perfect. I'm just gonna jump right into things here. The house was really good, and for the most part, I was genuinely impressed with what I saw. These characters looked really good, and they looked super similar to the official costumes I saw last time I went to Horror Nights in 2023. Yes, of course I went to see those, and it's also dawned on me that the only times I've ever gone to Horror Nights was specifically for FNAF. They recreated these characters almost perfectly. Now, obviously, there were differences. Many of the characters were just themselves from the waist up, but still, the illusion worked really well. It really feels like you stepped into the FNAF movie, and they have really cohesive recreations of certain elements from the movie. Like, they had the cupcake jump scare, which was really well done. And frankly, the set design was perfect. They really only focused on the pizzeria, which, I mean, that makes sense. It is based on the movie Pizzeria, and I'm gonna talk about that later, but other than that, it was really well done. The queue for the event was also really long, which is something I will touch on later, but inside of the soundstage, they did a great job with props, and even the exterior was really cool. I wonder if the sign that they had above the whole thing was the same sign I saw in Hollywood a few years back on Sunset Boulevard. If you don't know, they made a FNAF Pizzeria location there also. You can walk into it, but one thing I did not expect were the ghost children showing up. That was actually a really smart way to add in a few more jump scares, and something I would have never thought of in an attraction like this. We never really got ghost kid jump scares in any FNAF media, so I guess that's why I never really thought of it, but it worked really well, especially since with how some of the stuff is laid out, it almost acts like a transition to their animatronic counterparts. Now, I kind of need to tear into this attraction a little bit. There are a few things I didn't really like about this experience, and the complaints immediately start with the first thing you see, the stage. I went to the Hollywood location and why is it only Freddy? This is cool as hell, but why are Bonnie and Chica represented by silhouettes of themselves? It's not like the attraction couldn't accommodate all three animatronics. From what I've seen from the Orlando version, the stage has all three animatronics, but the room is actually smaller than what we got. We got a whole ass sound stage dedicated to this event, but they just couldn't give us all three of them on stage. Instead, we need the majority of the space to be dedicated to the queue. I'm actually not torn on Foxy not being at his cove because that's actually done on purpose. The Foxy Kid spirit is actually there, so I'm cool with that. Plus, from what I can gather, our Foxy running is better than what Orlando got, where he's kind of just standing there. At the very least, they got Freddy there though, and he looks amazing. Like I said, it's just a shame we didn't get the others. I do think the animatronics themselves were a bit underwhelming. They look amazing, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, they are just big characters with humans manipulating their arms. Now, that sounds like I'm being super picky here. I'm not saying these were done poorly, but based on all of the info we got from before the house opened, I was under the impression that they were going to be using a lot more robotics than they actually did. We only really got the animatronic on the stage, Foxy, and that's it. Everything else was hung up by poles or being controlled by a human, which is fine. That's actually a really smart and cheap way to get everything to work for this experience. That's what I was originally expecting because this is a limited time event. But with all this talk on Jim Henson's Creature Shop collaborated to bring these characters to life, I kinda set my standards higher than I probably should have. I expected more robotics at use here. Finally, I wanted to talk about Spring Bonnie. It was cool to see them here, but initially I was kinda sad that he was also just a character moved around by someone behind him. Spring Bonnie's whole gimmick is that he's a guy in a suit, but after I saw this, I kind of looked at the comments online and actually maybe having the suit be an actual suit would be a bad idea. Someone used one of the suits in the back, a yellow one. So Okay, yeah, that makes sense, but in the moment I was disappointed. Most of my other complaints about this experience kind of have to do with external factors, to be frank. I was also really disappointed that we didn't get a dine-in Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Yeah, looking at Hollywood, there wouldn't really be a place to put it, but I wanted to have my birthday at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Yes, I actually did go on my birthday, and the whole idea was that I, a grown-ass man, was going to fulfill his lifelong dream of having his birthday at the Murder Robot location. But no, we got this little kiosk that we could get pizza at, and also these little cupcakes, which are really cute. I'm 100% gonna keep this pizza box. Also, from the footage I've seen, the pizzeria that they have in Orlando isn't all too great, but it's the thought that counts, man. But yeah, I really enjoyed my time. It was a great birthday activity, and FNAF is real. I'm going to be putting up a video of my overall experience at Horror Nights on my second channel, Mike Posting. That's kind of just my shitpost channel now. I'll have a full video of my walkthrough of the FNAF maze there as well. And thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for FNAF 2 on the 3DS. Yes, that is real.